Chapter 74, Little Encounters and Information Gathering __1. Just as I had made good progress with my sewing, I realized that I had run out of a particular color of thread I needed, so I decided to use the opportunity to take a break. I can't believe that I, of all people, miscalculated how much thread it would take to finish the project. I guess I may have gotten a little too excited, as it had been quite some time since I had taken on such a big job. The peddler should be arriving in cheeky 3 days from now, so I suppose I have some free time on my hands. For the past few days, Lady Violet has taken on a part of my duties, and even Gray has been taking his work or playing with his friends outside the house, so as to not disturb me. Personally, I didn't really mind if he stayed, but in appreciation of their thoughtfulness, I suppose we can all return to our usual routine for some time. Oh, it's night already. I looked out the window to see the moon shining beautifully in the sky, reminding me of the time of the day. After dinner, I made some small talk as I continued to work on my sewing and returned to my room to work on it some more. Judging from how much work I've gotten done, I must have sewed through the whole night. I figure I should get some fresh air before getting some shut-eye. So I grabbed the first coat I could reach and made my way out. I tiptoed across the hallway, so as to not disturb the two who were sleeping, and opened the front door. As we were still enjoying winter, I was greeted by a breeze that was pleasant if cold. With nary a soul around, the absolute stillness in the air was comforting. Beaut. I gotta say, it's pretty nice to bathe in moonlight like this once in a while. What the hell is that pervert up to? A small distance away, illuminated by a ray of moonlight shining through a thicket of trees, was Ms. Schwartz striking a pose. Her clothes partly in disarray. She stood praising her own beauty, which was truly bizarre. But since she was indeed quite beautiful, it didn't look so odd for her to be in awe of her own beauty, and that made me rather annoyed. I felt both the desire to keep watching and the responsibility to admonish and warn her against her deviance. I can only imagine this situation leading to an outcome of rumors being spread about me having a tryst with a half-naked woman in the dead of the night. Knowing Ms. Schwartz's personality, Lady Violet may understand if I explain the situation to her, but the townspeople who don't know the backstory would easily believe any rumor. Ms. Schwartz is capable of showing discretion at the oddest
It's likely
of
that the
times.
love,
So unless she's
interest,
still
or
up
the
to her
enemies that the
shenanigans by the
protagonist
time
and her
I make it
troop
back
will
to the
be facing
mansion
off have
or rid
also
herself of her
changed.
clothes
The
in a
days are
public
getting
area,
colder.
I guess
As
I
I
can
walk
leave her be.
pondering various
Wait,
things for a while.
it would put me
A
in an
sudden
awkward
gust of cold
situation
wind
if she's
snapped
found
some of my
doing that
body
near the
heat away.
mansion.
I
Bringing my
ignored her for
soliloquy
now
to a
and waltzed
pause.
around Shiki.
My body was
I
growing
recalled that
colder
she may be
and
acting
likely
weird
as a
at the
result of
moment,
my slow
but there was an
pace,
instance in the game
a bit of
when
fatigue
she
had
got
also
apprehended
creeped up
for an
on me.
assassination
This would
attempt on
probably
His
be a good
Highness.
time to
As for
return
the
to the
client,
mansion.
it
and
was
let the
conveniently
fatigue
the radicals
envelope
who had
and
schemed to
lull
place
me
the
into
fourth
land
prince
of
on the
dreams.
throne,
And the
I
result
stretched my
was the
limbs,
apprehension
taking short
of Miss
breaths,
Schwartz.
and turned on
While
my
the person
heels
in
to make my
question
way back
had no
when,
qualms with the
blurred,
result.
I
There was
wonder
something
if
there.
praising her beauty
At first,
out there
I
like
imagined
she's
it was
now
cyan
is what
or
makes her
khaki,
truly
being
happy.
punished for downing on
Hiya,
too many drinks.
even Chartreuse,
but I believe I
who's
was training in the
mistaken.
middle of the night.
Main
like
reason
this.
being,
had an ending
the
where
person
his
wasn't
father,
as tall.
the commander
They had
of the
long,
Knights, and his
almost
mother,
golden hair
the
with a red
archwizard,
tinge.
both got
Completely
killed,
unlike
and he
those
ended
two
becoming
whose
the
hair
commander.
is much
His
shorter.
parents die in
She
the
was
line
someone
of
I'd
duty
recently become
while
acquainted
facing
with
off
and knew
against a
quite well.
monster.
I'm not
whose
sure why
seal
she's
was
here in
broken.
Shiki.
The
If anyone were to
protagonist
see us
comforts
together,
and
I feel like it would
cheers him
lead to a
on, which leads him to join the
misunderstanding of
subjugation
night
party.
tryst. And after the
But I
monster was
personally
killed,
didn't want to pretend
he's
I
made the
hadn't seen
commander
her
in one of the
so I
routes.
decided to talk to her.
It is followed by
hoping
the
that
main
she
love
wouldn't be
interest.
embarrassed
His
that
Highness
I'd seen
Vermilion
her
in a less
succeeding
than
the
preferable
throne and
condition.
personally
What's
appointing
up, Miss Creamhill?
Chartreuse as the
Blurg.
commander.
What?
The other routes
Lord
didn't
CLO.
mention him
And so I called out to Ms.
position,
Creamhill,
but it's possible
who
that
was
he does
busy
so
throwing
and
up in
knows
a
as well.
container at the corner of the road.
My usual clothes are the most convenient.
Chapter
to move around in.
75.
Oh,
Little
if I
encounters
train
and
wearing
information
this skirt
gathering
with a thigh-high
__2.
slit,
Then maybe I can get
You.
used to
I
maneuvering
shouldn't have
in
drank
situations
alcohol.
where my
I was
movements
kinda
are
longing to
limited,
try it.
and
His behavior
this
makes
is
me
what I
worry
get
if the country
according
would
to
be
Miss
in good
Creamhill.
hands.
She
if he
came
ends
to
up
Shiki,
becoming the commander.
stayed at the inn,
Also,
and was
speaking
offered
of
alcohol.
people I have met
she
who
was
I've
chatting
known about
happily with
before
other
coming
customers
across
at the
them
bar.
would be
Although she
Creamhill,
apparently rejected
Ash
a drink
and
on the
Rivers.
spot, because while she was
excluding
old enough
Lady
to drink,
Violet and
she
His
was also a
Highness
student
Vermilion,
and
of
couldn't go
course.
too crazy.
All of them did
Even
indeed
so,
fit the description
since she
I had
always
of them in
longed to
mind.
drink alcohol,
But there were certainly
she
parts
tried a
of their
little
personality
in secret
that
later.
were unknown to me.
However, Miss
She got
Schwartz was
tipsy from
hired
that
to
small
kill
amount
Lady
of
Violet.
alcohol.
Miss
And
Creamhill
for some reason
wasn't at
sided
odds
that
with Lady
exercising would
Violet.
make her feel better.
Chartreuse
Thus,
and Ash weren't in
she
love
ended up
with
in the
Miss
state
Creamhill.
I found her in.
Rivers could
She might have been
wield
okay
something
if it was a
strange
light
called
exercise,
word magic,
but she
I'm
just
not
had to
sure
do
if I could
burpees,
label these as
an
decisive
intensive full-body
discrepancies
exercise.
or mere slips of
Naturally,
memory.
But
she
I'm
also
certain
ended
that
up
something
vomiting.
feels off.
Well, I'm
some
not
people
sure
end
if
up
the
like
root
that.
of the issue is
Please be
me
careful
or the
in
girl
future.
that's friends
Here you
with
go.
chartreuse
You.
and a lot.
Thank you very much. I handed Miss Creamhill a cup filled with cold water from a water magic stone. After she sat down in a comfortable place and slowly drank water, she seemed to calm down, so I struck up a random conversation with her to distract her. By the way, why are you and Shiki? Did you come to see Lady Violet? Well, that's a part of it too, but Ash asked me to take Char back. I see. Ash was worried that if he left Chartreuse alone, he wouldn't come back for a week or so. Just as Ash was troubled because he couldn't go after Chartreuse due to some business, Miss Creamhill suggested that she'd go to check on him. Thus, she had arrived this evening. A woman, who was Ash's attendant, also came with her, but she was lured away by the lustful demon. Is that really fine, Ms. Attendant, to be lured away like this? Also, given the time period, it doesn't look like she has seen Chartreuse in that outfit, which I'm glad about. Apparently, Ms. Creamhill will be going back tomorrow afternoon. If she has time in the morning, she also plans to meet Lady Violet. Is Vi doing well? Yes, she's doing fine. She's gotten used to her work as the Lord, and she's doing such a great job that I can't compare to her. When I said that, Miss Creamhill smiled with joy. I could tell that there was no other meaning to her smile. She really cared for Lady Violet, but that's exactly what sparked some doubts, so I decided to ask her a question. What do you think of the current Lady Violet, Miss Creamhill? What do you mean? I was wondering how she is right now, compared to how she was at the academy. In response to my question, Miss Creamhill put her left hand on her chin and made a thinking posture. After pondering over it for a while, she answered, well, when she was at the academy, she often had tense encounters with Ma, the girl who she dueled, and His Highness Vermilion. She was always frowning back then. She's not like that now, so I'm relieved. I think it's a good change, but I also feel a little sad that I'm not the one who caused it. Sir, I've thought this before too, but Ms. Creamhill really isn't good at using honorifics. It's fine even if she doesn't force herself to do it. But if I point it out, I feel like she'll tell me to drop the honorifics too, so I'll just leave it at that. Even though I was pretty busy, I should have talked to her more. Well, even if I did talk to her, I think I would have been chased away by others around her. You were busy? Were you collecting materials for alchemy magic? That was a part of it too, but it seems that I'm quite different from other people, so I was desperately trying to make up for it. Different from others? Ms. Creamhill was probably different from others from the moment she became able to use alchemy magic, but has she always been the kind of a person to realize that she was out of sync with others? She could reach various conclusions depending on a love interest route. So maybe she's just a very unusual person? No, maybe this is also the influence of the other girl who uses alchemy magic. Yes, I studied hard. I was finally able to use theory for the basic magic I'd been using with just a feeling until then. But it was nothing to worry about. I guess it's something like she wasn't good at basics because she was able to do things to some extent with her natural talent. In other words, you don't like looking at textbooks and your brain demands sleep whenever you do. Am I right? How could you tell? Ms. Creamhill, you're the type to get more excited about the old weapons and magic circles written in document collections and textbooks, right? How do you know that? Because I was like that too. Magic circles in my previous life might have only been beloved by delusional edgelords, but in this world, they're considered a proper science. Lately, I've found it troublesome to write them and construct them, so I don't use them unless I'm talking with people with strange tastes like apricot or using them for big ceremonies. When watching such a spectacle, I don't think it can be helped if I feel excited. Come to think of it, I remember there were several scenes where the main character wasn't good at studying and was taught by another capture target. Personally, I like the magic circle that was used to defeat roaring beasts. Oh, I get that. I'd say that it's written in a way that shows respect for the opponents by defeating them one by one instead of killing all 30 together. Yes, while the one-hit kill without any unnecessary tricks is also amazing, but the sense of precision that comes from discovering another interpretation of it just makes one so excited. To think that there was another way of looking at things. That's just, I get it, I totally get it. And the other thing is, you're right. That's why, looks like my interests match with Ms. Creamhill more than I thought. If we had a connection in previous life, we might have had similar hobbies like manga or games. If we were peers in this life, we might have become good classmates. Adha, is this the so-called power of the main character? Did His Highness, Ash, and the others fall for this charm? Ah, no, they didn't actually fall for her. CLO, are you cheating? I'm not. Oh, good work on the patrol. Just as we were engrossed in the discussion of magic, Robot, who was on patrol duty, landed in front of us. While we were having a chat about magic, a robot on patrol duty landed at our place. Maybe she was using silent mode because she appeared suddenly, but I felt her presence, so I wasn't too surprised. However, just as I was worrying that Ms. Creamhild might have been surprised, long time no see, Blondie. How have you been? Yes, I have been fine. You also seem to be in good health. So, I'm GL. No, you seem to be feeling under the weather? Ahaha. I drank alcohol, but I was weaker than I expected. Now I'm fine thanks to Mr. CLO's care. Then, I'm glad. Also, please, call me Robot when I'm in this form. Oh, I'm sorry, Robo. Your name is so pretty, I couldn't help myself. Wait, this girl did not just get used to Robot, but she's also close enough with her to call her by her name? When I asked her when they managed to become good friends, she told me that during the investigation, she used alchemy magic to create replacement parts for Robot when parts of her body malfunctioned. That's how they got close. Is this the power of the heroine, after all? Chapter 76, Little Encounters and Information Gathering _3. It was late at night, and Ms. Creamhill was feeling much better, so I said goodbye to her and Robot and left. They seemed to still have something to talk about. Still, it's a bit bizarre to see the two of them together. There aren't many people who would look fitting next to Robot to start with, but since Ms. Creamhill is so petite, they look even more suspicious together. Are you going back tomorrow noon? Looks like we won't be able to eng0y the hot spring together. It's fine. If I talk to Char or my accompanying person, they should give me enough time. Wait, didn't you hate showing your face, Robo? Yes. Thus, I will be bathing in this form. Won't you, Rust? As I was leaving, I overheard such conversation from behind me. But is there even a reason to enter water in that form? If I remember right, because of the purification function, Robot doesn't understand how it works either. She can stay clean permanently even without taking the armor off. Well then, more time has passed than I expected. I can't sleep in tomorrow, so it's about time I went home and slept. As I walked back towards the mansion, a man came into view. Phew, as expected, it's hard to move. I can't wear that outfit again, but just by wrapping a cloth around my waist in a skirt-like fashion, I can train a different way from usual. Oops, GFH. Shit. It's good for training, but if I lose my balance for a bit, I end up tripping. But I won't lose. Let's pretend I didn't see him. I ignored Chartreuse, who had cloth wrapped around him like Cyan's outfit, but without a slit, and walked away. I hope no rumors start spreading that you become weird when you come to Shiki. Wow, that's amazing, madam. It's wonderful that the Austin family has a lady like you. I shall meet you again when I go to the capital next time. Fufu, I want you to treat me not as a member of the Austin family, but as a mere woman today. Oh, my apologies. Well then, let us return to my room and continue, haha. Let's pretend I didn't see anything. If any problems arise, I'll ask the people from Kaki's family to take care of it, though I think Kaki himself would take the responsibility if any problems arose. Plus his family has both power and wealth. Bobo beauty. Phew, the moonlight feels good. Let's pretend I didn't see anything. How long is Ms. Schwartz planning to stay like that? It's been hours since I last saw her, and she's still striking that pose. She's even more exposed now. I hope she doesn't catch a cold. I feel like I've seen many mentally exhausting things, but ignoring them is one of the most important things when you live in Shiki. If I dealt with them one by one, I wouldn't be able to stay sane. Sometimes when you ignore them, they come back twice more annoying, so it's hard to strike the balance. Anyway, I returned to the entrance of the mansion, so I took a deep breath and put my hand on the door. Well then, should I just go to sleep like this? Or should I drink something to warm me up a bit and go to bed after calming down? I'm wearing a coat, but since it's thin, I feel a little cold, so I want to warm myself up from the inside out. But I'm also a bit lazy to make a warm drink. Taking a bath is just as troublesome, but if I heat it up, it might get noisy and wake everybody up. Deciding that I just go to sleep as I was, I opened the door and went inside. Oh, welcome back, Lord CLO. Lady Violet was at the entrance. To be more exact, when I came back, she came out of the living room and ran up to me. Just as I was dumbfounded, Lady Violet stood in front of me, looking pristine. What's wrong, Lady Violet? I thought she was asleep, so I quietly went outside without telling anyone. That's why I didn't think she would be specifically waiting here for me. Well, if I don't pay attention, you'll keep sewing without going to sleep? Lord CLO. When I went to your room with a warm drink to urge you to take a rest, you weren't there, so I got worried, but looks like everything's fine, so I'm relieved. Contrary to my thoughts, she was really waiting for me. It's already late at night, and Lady Violet probably also wants to sleep because she has the Lord's work at noon tomorrow. She was even worried about me and waited for me. If I had returned a little later, she might have changed her clothes and gone to look for me. Oh yeah, I made hot milk to warm you up. I just heated it up, so it probably hasn't gone cold yet. Will you drink it, Lord CLO? Lady Violet smiled, as if I'd have come back at the perfect timing. She asked me with a slightly proud expression, like a child who had prepared a present. If you look at me with that expression, I won't be able to refuse even if I was tired and wanted to go to sleep right away. My exhaustion went away all at once. I'll drink it. I was just thinking that I wanted something warm. I can't really guarantee the taste, so don't compare it to Gray's. Yes, I know. It's probably better than what I'd make, so I'm looking forward to it. That's a sly way of wording it. We went to the living room for the hot milk that had been prepared, and I sat close together with Lady Violet. We chatted together, tilting our cups while the other person was talking. As the warmth spread through my body, I felt a different part of me being filled as well. I think I'll sleep well today. Chapter 77, Ash's Suffering _1 Seaweed. Vermilion has been becoming more free-spirited despite being royalty. Since kings in this kingdom are nominated, Vermilion can also become the king despite being the third prince. So, I would like him to act more like a future king candidate. I feel complicated because it feels like the real expressions I used to see when we were young have started to come out on the surface more often. But when I think that this is also the influence of that girl, some people are saying that he's become easier to get along with. I guess it might still be considered growth in a way. Is Renat here? What's wrong, Your Highness? You're being improper. Oh, it's you, Ash. Sorry, I was so excited that I ended up speaking roughly. I don't mind, but what happened? You don't lose your calm like this often, Your Highness. Your Highness, does that stain and the thing in your hand mean that you— Yeah, this is the core I obtained by infiltrating a group of adventurers in a disguise, defeating Trent, giant tree monster, and dissecting it. I thought she'd be happy. Wash off that dirt in the bath, right this moment. What are you doing? He goes crazy in a weird direction sometimes, but he does everything with her in mind, so it's fine. Is it really fine? Vermilion is still fine. A simple admonition to restrain himself is enough. Char's actions have become more stupid. When he was a child, he was so mischievous that he'd take me and Vermilion around and get scolded by his father, the Knight Commander. However, before entering the academy, he spent all his time training and had somehow become unfriendly. But after meeting her, I feel like he's gone back to the way he was before, or more like he's become more stubborn. Saying that he would take responsibility as a man, he didn't mention what he was taking responsibility for. He returned to Shiki. In order to protect her, he tries to become stronger and fight stronger monsters. In the process of that, he doesn't even notice that he's being scammed. What, is that true? Yes. Of course it is, Lord Calvin. There's a practitioner of the legendary Jeet Kien Du 3 towns south from here. I've also heard that they're accepting challengers until tomorrow. What? Damn, but there's no space distortion stone in that town, so I can't make it in time. Yes. So how about this horse? It's a good horse that I wouldn't want to give up normally, but I can surrender it to you at a special price, Lord Calvin. That way you might make it in time. Oh, that would be generous. Thank you, merchant. As a reward, I'll purchase it at an extra, Wait, is Char really okay? He said that he wanted to become a knight commander so she could be proud of him. But if he becomes the knight commander in his current state, the Knight Order would most likely end up disbanding. No, he might turn Knight Order into a paragon of justice. Also, I feel like people who went to Shiki for an investigation have become more true to their own desires. Austin, I have realized that I want to become a teacher in the future. Oh, that's a good decision. But why all of a sudden? After talking with Bly and Shiki, my desire to watch over the growth of boys has become even stronger. In other words, I have realized that in order to enjoy and protect their pure innocence, I must become a teacher myself. I understand. In order to protect the healthy growth of boys, I should do everything in my power to prevent you from doing so. I feel like the way a certain noble lady from the Viscount family looks at small children has changed. She used to say that she liked children before, but after going to Shiki, I realized that my understanding of her love was different from what I wish was the case. In order to protect the future of the children, and especially the boys, I must stop this girl's rampage. Oh, are you praying? I haven't seen you here before. Have you started coming recently? Lord Austin. Yes, I just started coming recently. If I come here, I can see none clothes, cough if I pray, that pure girl. Mystery lurking inside. No, this isn't what I had in mind. I came here to discard my earthly desires and had no other purpose. Why are you clutching your head? The son of a certain baron began to have a mysterious guilt towards nuns. When he'd look at nuns, he would start praying as if he was trying to escape from something, mumbling, "I can't see any lines from above the clothes, slit from below." As somebody who never misses worship, I can't help but be concerned about him. Mainly, I'm concerned whether he'll try to commit an impulsive crime. There are others who've also been affected strangely, too. Kukuku, mix this medicine here. Kukuku, is it you? The student who's been conducting suspicious experiments. I'm just cultivating mushrooms with black magic. A certain student started growing mushrooms with black magic. Are you being bullied? No, I was taught that in order to grow good vegetables, I must understand how the soil feels. And that's why you buried yourself in the ground with only your face showing? Yes. Oh, please don't worry. I'm doing this in a perfect condition, so there is no danger. Is that so? A certain student who loves a vegetable garden buried himself in the area where the plants grow. Kukuku, demon of darkness, I shall let you run wild to your heart's content. With my Lord Flower, Lord Ash. I did not see anything. That should be fine, right? I don't believe in selfless kindness. Please let me do something. Shall I lick your shoes? It's fine. How can you become subservient so suddenly? A certain classmate started bandaging his hand and saying strange things in the early morning classroom. My head hurts, really. For the first time in my life, as one of the people in charge of the class, I felt like giving up on everything. No, I think I still have it better compared to Baron Hartfield. The ones in the academy are still calm, since they still have self-control and are trying to resist. Baron Hartfield is in charge of a group of people without limiters who still try to push their agenda, even when they're being told to stop. If you think about it that way, I still have it better than him. Plus, there's still not a lot of them. Next time, I need to ask him to teach me how he keeps them in check or maybe how to calm them down. It might also be a good idea to have him teach me how to avoid stress. Speaking of Baron Hartfield, I remember that he said something bizarre. If I remember right, it was about whether Char, Vermilion, and I were on good terms with Nephrite. In this context, I think he meant being close not as classmates, but as people of the different sex. Nephrite is indeed a charming woman. Her academic ability was about average when she first entered the school, but recently she's been working hard enough that her name is being mentioned among the top for some subjects, and she's also been putting an effort to use magic other than alchemy magic too. She has great athletic abilities, and she's aggressive enough that it makes you wonder where she stores her strength in that small body of hers. But if I had to describe her with one word, it would be alien, I guess. Suddenly, those words escaped from my mouth. After checking my surroundings and making sure that nobody was around, I once again thought about the meaning of the words that I had blurted out spontaneously. Cream-Hilled Nephrite. She's a petite human girl who doesn't even reach 150 centimeters in height and uses the same alchemy magic as her. Her skill in alchemy magic is also similar to that girl, and she's an instinctive type genius who can create various things. She has many friends, and her affable smile soothes everybody who sees her. But there is something fundamentally wrong with Nephrite. She gets happy at the smallest of things. She can get mad in other people's stead. She can express sadness even when it's being suppressed. She can see things in an enjoyable light. But look at it from the side. Nephrite is clearly full of emotions because she can feel all those things. She's full of emotions, but something feels strange. I don't know why, but I feel like she's missing something. As if something that should be there is missing. Phew, that should do it. I've seen it before. When she needed monster parts as materials for alchemy magic, I've seen her choose to hunt down monsters instead and dissect them without a hesitation. Alchemy magic is magic that uses all materials as raw ingredients and reassembles them into something different. Therefore, she might just be used to it, but that's not the problem. Her eyes looked as she didn't care from the very beginning. Oh, Ash, what happened? Just as I was about to ponder deeper, I suddenly heard a voice from behind me. That voice made me realize that I had lost sight of my surroundings. So I stopped my thoughts for a bit and turned to the direction of the voice. It was from a voice of a girl I love. Beautiful, long golden hair. Red eyes that seemed to swallow everything. Her smile is more beautiful than any paintings, any statues of goddesses I've seen. A woman who has mastered all aspects of academics, attribute magic, and alchemy magic. A woman of integrity who never neglects her efforts and has everything. And above all, my beloved, who saw through my heart which I had never opened up to anybody and saved me. Her name is... Chapter 78, Ash's Suffering _2 Seaweed. Mary, taller stature than most women. Fine, translucent white skin and long, slender limbs. Her each and every gesture is so refined you can't help admiring them. A woman so perfect, she seems to have no flaws no matter where you look. She, Mary, was looking at me with a worried expression, her beautiful golden hair fluttering in the wind. Yes, good morning, Ash. You had a very serious expression on your face. If there is something worrying you, I will be happy to listen. No, it's fine. I was just thinking about next month. I was worried about the budget and guests. I was embarrassed that her red eyes, which would put any jewels to shame, were reflecting me with worry, so I smiled from the bottom of my heart to stop Mary from worrying. Mary, who could easily tell a fake smile from a real one, felt that there was no hidden meaning behind my expression and smiled with relief. She's as beautiful as ever. If I had to describe her now, the word saint would be the most appropriate. When you say next month, do you mean the school festival at the end of the semester? Yes. I have many things to do as the class representative. There are a lot of issues to take care of. You have to start this early? Even though you're also a student, well, most things are done by the teachers, but it seems like the purpose is to help students develop the ability to take charge while they're young. The school festival. The school festival held at Azalea Academy is a major event that rivals the graduation ceremony and will be held over several days at the end of the next month. First, there are tournaments divided by grade and theme held at the arena. This event is a great opportunity for students to showcase themselves because the military personnel and people from all sorts of occupations are also evaluating students. However, due to the problems caused by match fixing stemming from the pressure from differences in social status and illegal betting, monitoring mustn't be neglected. I plan on teaching those who attempt to apply pressure based on social status differences among the nobles what real pressure is. Then, there are the projects by each class. I have to monitor the magic used for the projects and make sure that there are no profit-oriented projects. I also have to make sure that sanitation is maintained. There are many other problems too, like participation in the aforementioned arena and the lack of cooperation between nobles and commoners. On the final day, there's a party to wrap up everything. It's a social gathering with alumni and various other related parties. In other words, it becomes a place where students who attracted attention through their matches or projects are scouted. I see. I can help you if you're fine with it. It looks like it'll be a good learning experience. That's an attractive offer. Mary isn't saying this just to be polite. If I asked for help, she'd help me without a word. And with Mary's own abilities and charm, the school festival will become even better. Mary is a wonderful woman, enough to make me sure of this. And if she'll be helping out, we'll have more chances to be alone. No, that won't be necessary. I might ask you for help in case of an emergency. But if I borrow your help too early, I'm afraid I'll turn into a weakling who cannot do anything by myself. However, if I borrow somebody else's help from this early on, I will be pathetic not only as a member of the Marquis family, but also as Ash Austin. I don't just want to rely on her. I must also make an effort in the right direction to make her see me as a lover. Foo-foo, I don't think that you can't do anything, Ash. From what I've seen so far, you've worked harder than anyone else to support Vermilion. I'm happy to hear that, but I can't say that my efforts until now have all gone in a positive direction. That's why you slapped me, after all. Please don't mention that. When I said it teasingly, her face turned a little red, and she looked away. How cute. A slap is something Mary did to me in the past. Before, I did everything behind the scenes to make Vermilion the king. I thought that it was fine if my hands got dirty as long as Vermilion ascended the throne. However, Mary, who saw through me, slapped me without a regard for her position on the campus. She even tearfully expressed her concern for my safety. Having always thought of myself as disposable, those words came as a shock to me. Mary has taught me that I had a different worth too. Many people saw what happened, and since Mary wasn't a noble, she was at risk of being suspended or even expelled, but I remember how happy I was that she risked all this because she was worried about me. I can't ever thank you enough for the favor you did to me at that time. There's no way I would ever forget it or stop talking about it. You're so mean, Ash. Yes, I'm fine with being mean as long as I can see your cute expression. Oomph. When I said that, she puffed her cheeks a little and turned away adorable. No, calm down, Ash. Mary being adorable is an objective fact, but I must calm down. I want nothing but to hug this adorable girl and steal her sensual lips, but that would make me the same as the lustful demon from Shiki. No, I'm different from that man who hits on every female in sight because I love Mary and I don't have a desire to commit sodomy either. That's why I have to restrain myself. I wonder if being in Shiki has really infected me with something. Should I quarantine myself? Oh, by the way, the school festival reminded me of something. Yes, what's wrong? Mary stopped pouting and turned to me as if she had remembered something. If she remembered something in association to the school festival, it has to be something related to the party. The party at the end of the first semester. Violet once gave Mary some advice about her dress before the party where she challenged her to a duel. This time is different from the previous student-only party, so maybe she wants some advice on how to conduct herself. Is it true that Lady Violet is invited to the school festival? However, Mary asked me something completely different from what I was expecting. Where did you hear that? It's just a rumor. I didn't really believe it because it's a rumor, but judging from your reaction, it must be true. Yes, it's true. What Mary asked is the truth. Violet, Baron and Baroness Hartfields are indeed invited to the school festival. Nominally, it's treated as an invitation sent to former students. However, while I don't know all the details, for some reason in addition to being invited as people who have been involved with the Academy, they have also received an invitation in the name of the royal family. Since it's effectively an imperial order, it can't be refused. If they try to refuse it, the position of Baron CLO Hartfield will become even more unstable than it is now. However, for us, the problem is that Violet received an invitation. That duel incident still hasn't faded, and there are many other students, in addition to the involved parties like Vermilion and Eccles, who hold a grudge against her. Honestly, troubles can't be avoided no matter how this situation is handled. My head hurts. Mary, but what I'm most worried about is Mary. The relationship between them is definitely tense. Mary is kind, so even if she doesn't hold a grudge against Violet, Violet might still. It's fine. However, Mary took my hand and smiled to reassure me. I have all my friends. As long as they're with me, I'm not afraid of anything. I felt my heart jump at the sudden touch. I understand that this action is just to put me at ease, and that this is a compassionate action, like a mother comforting her child, but I can't help feeling nervous. Can I not get her to see me as a man? I might as well hold her body close, and besides, I thought that I would never see her again after she became a nun. I'd stop. That's not good. I want to steal her away, but that would be meaningless. I held down my rising emotions and returned my attention to Mary's words. Come to think of it, Mary did ask us if Violet became a nun after she left the academy, but what made Mary think that she would become a nun? But I'm happy if I can still meet her. Since she's safe, I look forward to seeing her. I was worried that Mary might have felt anxious or fearful toward Violet, but it looks like I was overthinking. No, Mary is a strong woman. She might just be acting brave to not make me worry. I don't have so much hatred toward Violet like before, but I haven't actually forgiven her. If something happens that makes Mary sad, I have to protect her. But what does she mean by she's safe? Was she worried that Violet would be put under house arrest by Duke Valentine? Yes, I'm really looking forward to it. But Mary's smile, that captivates everybody who sees her, blew away all my doubts. When I look at her, I feel like everything is bewitching, to the point that it makes me think that her actions are backed by the prior knowledge of what will happen. Is this also a part of the weakness that comes from being in love? By the way, Ash, I was looking for you because I had one more thing to ask. You wanted to ask me something? In response to my question, Mary smiled suspiciously in a way different from before, and as if she were playing a mischievous joke. Have you heard of Carbuncle? She said a spirit's name. That you're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.